I love my enemies, bring out the best in me. I think of everything, I like society.
Hello and welcome to Kapow Toys Presents. I'm your host King Grimlock, and today we're going to be taking a look at the G.I. Joe 25th Anniversary Tiger Force Duke. Now, as I said in my Tiger Force Flint review, I am biased to the Tiger Force. There's just something about them that I really love. And as with the Flint, this guy is based on a very generic character scheme. The mould from all the way from the feet to the shoulders is exactly the same. The arms are different, as is the head mould as well. But again, as with the Flint, I can forgive it so much. Just for some reason, the colour scheme works so well. It breaks up the design, and you can't notice as much as you can with the Cobra Troopers. This guy, however, comes with a vast amount of accessories. But first, let's have a look at that new head, while I remember to. It's like, well, new head, different head from the front, and it's a nice sculpt. It looks like a human being, which is always a good start. And it's a fairly faithful representation of the character from the original toy, I believe, from what I can remember anyway. And it is very nicely done. But onto those accessories, and compared to Flint, he comes with a plethora. We have, first off, a nice standard helmet which slots on quite nicely. The helmet does look quite large though. For some reason it looks quite massive on his diddy little head. It's weird. It's weird how does have to get it lined up. Yeah, anyway, that'll do on there. Yeah, the helmet looks quite large and looks a little bit like a looks a bit like a pea in an elephant, but it fits quite nicely onto the figure, and that's what you kind of want. Really nicely sculpted backpack with a spade in there. Unfortunately, there's no little tabs on the side of this where you can attach weaponry like you could with the Snow Serpent. But it still works to... let's move that out of the way. It still works really nicely and adds a good bulk to the figure. And that's something I really like about having a backpack with your Joe, is it just adds something to the figure, it adds a real bulk to it. It just adds the playability, the swap and change. The pistol is the standard sort of 9mm Desert Eagle-esque that fits into this mould's trouser holster as such. And the rifle, I never like these rifles with these parts on them, I'm afraid, because it just doesn't really fit anywhere on the figure. And I'm sure someone will know how the Special Forces, I mean, I think they kind of use them as the show. Yeah, there's just something about it that isn't that good. It just doesn't speak to me in the same way that some other weaponry does. And he does come with these binoculars. Now, I've never liked binoculars on action figures because you can't put the bendable rope. You know, there has a lot of give to this, but it's still a solid piece. It's not going to drop. So when you put it over his head, they stand out quite significantly from his chest. And when you, if I can remove that without, I'll take his helmet off with it. And when you make him hold them, you end up with this massive band as well. Now, I don't know US Special Forces, and maybe they do have these binoculars on these slightly stronger ropes that do stand up like that, but it doesn't seem to make much sense why they would. So, best thing I've found is to put it over his head and have him holding them like he's holding them out. Like he's just taking them away from his eyes, or he's just about to put them there. And I don't know, it just seems to work a little bit better in a posability way. You can almost believe that he's about to use them, rather than having these big things hanging off his neck like some idiot who needs something tied onto him in case he loses it. Yeah, not the most believable First Sergeant or whatever Duke's designation actually is. But he does make a convincing figure in all ways, actually. This guy looks lovely on the shelf. A great paint scheme, plenty of different colours, so he isn't just a uniform piece. And it has a lot of character to it, which you can want from your Joes. You don't want the bog standard army build look of a figure from your Joes. You want the character, you want to know that this is Duke, and the blonde hair, buzz cut, really does do that for him. He's just a very nice piece. As I say, biased to the Tiger Force, so I can't really say anything bad about him. It would have been nice maybe, as I say, if those binoculars had been slightly differently moulded, or not come with that rope at all, because it just doesn't look right when it's just draped over his neck. Anyway, I've been King Grimlock, and this has been the G.I. Joe 25th anniversary. I think I've got that wrong every time. G.I. Joe 25th anniversary Tiger Force Duke, and we will see you next time.